Welcome back to part 2 of the video summary of the success session from January 19th for 11th grade students. This second piece was where we really wanted to talk about what are the reasons you should be studying for the SAT and kind of how are you going to do that. So a lot of you may already be in the process of this. I really hope that you are, but if you're not, you still have a little over a month to do that, and you've got your high school spring break in the meantime where you might only have to come to the college a couple of days. So you've got time, and we'll get right into it. So this is all part of the MME, the Michigan Merit Curriculum. So when you hear people talk about standardized tests, this is technically what Michigan students are doing. So a lot of this is the schools are judged on how their students do on this, but really the main thing is that your SAT is important for you in your future. So there are 3 assessments. The first one is the big one, the SAT exam. That's on Tuesday, April 10th. The following day, on Wednesday the 11th, you would do the ACT WorkKeys Job Skills Assessment. So there's 3 pieces: reading, math, and locating information, and we'll talk about kind of how that all works in a second. And then the last one is the M-STEP. That's the last piece of it. Each high school is doing that at different days. If you're a homeschool student testing with a middle college, Mr. Ruiz will be contacting you with what dates that'll be. As well, if you're a homeschool student taking these tests with us, you will be with us. Hopefully he'll be contacting you very soon to kind of give you a heads up of how that will all work. And the rest of you will just continue and take that test with your high school. And this slide pretty much says the same things. If you attend one of your partner high schools, like your home high school, you'll take all that stuff with them, and they will talk you through how that will all work. If you don't attend one of the partner high schools in your home school or unaffiliated student with the middle college, you would take that with us, and Mr. Ruiz will be sharing the details on all of that. Okay, so the whole thing about the MME is why should you care about it? And it's really, I know it's important to take all of those pieces seriously, but really the big piece of it is the SAT. The higher the score that you can get on the SAT, the more choices you have about where you can go, what colleges are going to accept you, scholarship money, all of that stuff. Which is all the most important stuff that you should be thinking about for your future college stuff at this point. Another thing to keep in mind is that depending on what career you're going into, you might have to continue to take these tests through your lifetime. As an educator, we still have to take tests. We have to do this basic skills, and we have to do content area tests, and there's all kinds of careers. Like to be a lawyer, you need to pass the bar exam. These tests will continue most of your life, depending on what career you're going into. And we kind of wanted to show you a few examples. So for Michigan State, the most recent profile that was on their website was their average, kind of the range of the GPAs that most students are coming in with is a 3.4 to a 3.9. And then the composite SAT score, so combining both your reading and the math, being between 1030 and 1210. The average SAT score for our students is right around that 1030. So we're kind of on the low end of that range as far as our average. So obviously some people are doing much better than that, and some people are not doing as well as that. CMU, Central Michigan's class, the average GPA is around a 3.33, and the average ACT score back when they were doing ACT instead of SAT was a 23, which comes out to about a 1070 for the SAT. So again, our average being 1031, we're a little bit lower than that. So you want to make sure that you're on the higher end of those ranges. So when you apply to the universities, I know we've talked about this a little bit, and we'll really be talking about it a lot more in the future. But when you apply as freshmen. So as far as admissions, like let's say you're applying to Michigan State, they're going to consider you a freshman as you're applying. So as long as you are a student who you haven't taken college classes after your high school graduation, so that's all of you. Your high school graduation is the end of 13th year. And then even if you take a class that summer, they still can count that okay. So when you're applying to go transfer in the fall of 2020, I think, you'll apply as freshmen, and that really is so that you're eligible for those freshman scholarships where they do show, if you have a certain SAT score and a certain GPA, you're going to get a certain amount of money each year. So a lot of that depends on your SAT score, and your admission depends on your SAT score. So it's really super important that you do the work to bring that up as high as it can be, and not just figure like, it's good enough, I can wing it and see how it goes. You really need to prepare for it. So looking at an example like Oakland, where this is kind of their grid of showing you if you have this particular SAT score and you have this particular GPA over on the left, it brings you to kind of what can you expect as far as financial aid or just scholarships right off the top. If you're one of those people that's worked their butt off and have a 3.9 or higher, and then you get a 1360 or higher, the presidential scholarship would be full tuition, so everything is paid for. But then working backwards, depending on where you fall, let's say you do have maybe that 1030 average that our students have, you would not actually even qualify for any money here. So again, you want to be better than the average. You want to bring that average up. So let's say 1100 is usually kind of where Mr. Spencer says to shoot for that. So let's say you get an 1100 and you've got a 3.5. You're going to qualify for the scholarship where you're going to get $2,000 a year. And I believe that's every year, as long as you keep your grades above a certain GPA at Oakland. Every school kind of has their own grid of, certain GPA, certain ACT score, which is not super helpful. But there are tools where you can kind of convert, and Grand Valley probably has that on their website as well. But just here's a few more examples of kind of what you can expect. So this can really make the difference between thousands of dollars depending on your scores. All right, another thing to consider that's helpful for your SAT score is that you can use that for placement at SE4. So a lot of people placed into maybe developmental English and or math classes. So like English 75 or Math 75, be placed into that based on your original AccuPlacer score. And we told you don't really stress about it because you're going to take the SAT, and that'll likely bring your placement up. That'll bring your placement up, though, if you do well on the SAT. So you really want to make sure that you're doing your best, and this is just kind of an extra benefit to getting a good score. And actually here kind of shows that based on the SAT score, a lot of people improved where they placed. So, and actually you guys have already kind of heard this, but Math 102 is changing to Math 82. So if you are placed into Math 75 or Math 102 based on your AccuPlacer, you really want to help make sure that your SAT score brings you up into the Math 110 or 112 or higher. Okay, so another aspect of this and why you should study is just knowing about the test, being familiar and practicing gives you higher scores. Research shows it on practice, preparation, it reduces anxiety, builds confidence, improves results. So saying that you have test anxiety, I know there are a lot of people that do, but I swear that the more you prepare, the lower you're gonna, the less that will affect you. A lot of that anxiety is just not knowing what to expect, and there's really no reason not to know what to expect. There are tons of resources online. There are 7 full practice tests on the website for the College Board, which we will show you. There's a ton of stuff out there, so you should not be going into the SAT not knowing what to expect. Let's see. So that's the whole thing. Don't tell yourself you don't have time to practice. You need to make the time to practice. I know that everybody's working, trying to get gas money, trying to save for whatever. It really can make a huge difference as far as your scholarship opportunities. So tell your boss that you need the next month and a half off or you need fewer shifts or whatever the case. It's important, and work is wonderful, but school really needs to be the priority in general, and definitely over these next few weeks. So have you actually done any prep work? Are you doing it at the high school? I know that a lot of the high school teachers are kind of showing you how to navigate all this stuff. And Mr. Spencer is going to make a separate video that'll really get into the websites and how to kind of access the different stuff that's out there. But the College Board website, the College Board is the company, actually I think it goes right here. So the College Board writes and scores the SAT. So they're the organization that does that. So their website and the resources they have there are very specific and what you can expect from the SAT. They've partnered with the Khan Academy, which a lot of you have probably used for a variety of subjects, and especially math. It's super helpful. You've probably been using that in the past, but there's also specific SAT practice and resources on the Khan Academy website, and all of it's free. If you took the PSAT, you already have a College Board account. It's just a matter of probably activating it if you haven't already. And then you can link your College Board account with your Khan Academy account, and that gives you personalized information about maybe what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what stuff you should practice, and what stuff you should maybe just figure you don't need to spend a lot of time on right now. There's a video that kind of shows you all that stuff. That's what this YouTube video is. I'll have this link in the email as well. So again, linking your accounts just personalizes your practice. So they will give you recommendations on Khan Academy based on your test scores. It'll be able to show you that, like, yep, you're really good in Algebra 1, but you need to spend a lot more time on this Algebra 2 stuff. It'll really tell you the topics and link you right to videos and practice based on specific skills and topics that you need more practice in. There's also a ton of diagnostic quizzes and practice tests. So even if you didn't take the PSAT, or you can't figure out how to get to your College Board account, or you just don't want to spend the time to link them, which shouldn't be a big deal, it takes 2 seconds. But if for whatever reason you can't link them, just jump right in. Go to the Khan Academy and do these diagnostic quizzes and tests, and that will start to tell you where you need to spend more time as well. So again, Mr. Spencer will kind of get into how to link these, and that video that will be there is also going to show you that. But you're just going to go to the Khan Academy account and click on, let's see. So you will go to the Khan Academy website at satpractice.org. There's a link right on that main page that says link your Khan Academy and College Board accounts. And you just kind of follow the directions. As long as you have your College Board login information, it's super easy and takes 2 seconds. If you need any help, though, you're welcome to come into the Middle College office, and any one of us here can help kind of walk you through that. This next piece, this is a flyer from the Blue Water College Access Network, and it's information about the 2018 winter SAT test prep that they do. So they still will have these sessions on March 10th, 17th, or 24th. It does cost money, but it'll get a little bit more into the content of the test. So you would choose your subject area, and it'll really kind of look at, you're going to look more at like how to do the math, or how to really work with that reading or English and writing. This website here we will include in the email, so you'd have a link right to it. You can go and see if there are any test dates still available, if that's something that you're interested in. And really just to follow the Blue Water College Access Network on Twitter and Facebook is really helpful. They have a lot of interesting stuff that they put together, and it's a good way that you can kind of see if they have a workshop that would apply to you. You can usually see that on, they post about that all the time on Facebook and Twitter. So that's it. This is a very important semester for you. A lot of what you're doing right now is going to help you in the future, and you know, doing it well now means maybe you don't have to redo stuff later. But if you keep working your butt off, and at this point, not 14 weeks left, but I think there's like 8 weeks left of the semester. So we're getting pretty close to spring, and just keep working hard. And those SAT prep sessions that we did have passed, but Mr. Spencer is going to make a video that will show how to really navigate both the College Board and the Khan Academy, which is a big piece of what we did at those sessions. So do the work, ask for help, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help you. Otherwise, good luck and kick some butt on those tests.